everybody? Dr. Doom here. We do have a webbot hit. Nothing real big to worry about anyways, but definitely a webbot hit nonetheless. You never heard of anything like this before. I never even would have thought about it. Not even in a million years. At least to the extent that this is going to affect us. But, and this isn't the first time. There was one, which it actually mentions in the report, but basically, the webbot gets another one right, and it talks about land masses being formed underwater and poking through to the surface. And not to mention whether it pokes through the surface or not doesn't really matter. It's the fact that this lava and whatnot's coming out from under the ground, under the water, causing the water to be displaced while the new land masses come up. Whether they go above the surface or stay below the surface doesn't really matter. It's just that this new land mass is forming, and of course if you have water there and you stick a piece of mass, something with mass in the water moves and of course will rise. So it says Karachi, a soft muddy island, appeared a few kilometers from the seashore in Hingal area of Balochistan. According to Pakistan fisher folk, the island is 90 meters high with a span of approximately 3 kilometers. The PFF spokesman Sami Memon told Dawn.com that the fishermen of Ibrahim Haidara area described the occurrence after returning from Hingal. Fishermen observed white, slippery hot sand erupting from the water 3 kilometers away from the beach. Before the upsurge of sludge, fishermen also observed high tides near the coast, and several boats were trapped due to the emergence of the island. Memon told Dawn.com that the island is 30 meters below the water and 60 meters above the sea level, which in total is 90 meters high. According to Memon, the fishermen also registered another island 12 years back, which plunged into the sea after 4 months. However, the amateur video of the event clearly showed eruption of white-hot liquid sludge on top of the island, which is still ongoing. So anyways, that's the news today. There was another one about a year ago or so, if that, I think it was about a year ago. An island off of Tonga was created. And this is on the internet right now on YouTube. There's people out there who are fishing or doing something and turn the camera to film this basically volcano coming out and, right above the water. It's pretty neat. It's on YouTube. So this is from 6/16/2009. That would be January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, June 16, 2009. And this is, again, I'm talking about the webbot report from June of 2009. There are still building sets within the data for new lands rising from ocean bottom. We note that the language around the recent underwater volcanic explosion near Tonga, which created new land, did not rise to the level of the linguistics forecast, and so there is still a large amount of unfulfilled linguistics that are expected to appear over the remainder of 2009 and 2010 around the core idea of new islands appearing. Again, the linguistics will focus collective consciousness back onto all things oceanic. The sheer number of forecast earthquakes, both submarine and terrestrial, will make the isolation of any of the more destructive occurrences difficult, as well as misleading. The data sets indicate a very active period within the stability of the planet. The forecasts are for yet another large increase in larger earthquakes over 2009 and 2010. These are forecast to rise to the level of continuous, more or less, background level of visibility within the global media stream. Coincidence to the rise in earthquakes of a destructive level will be a rise in visible incidents of unknown or strange/peculiar phenomenon of all kinds. These include but are not limited to temporary magnetic anomalies, electric effects erupting from previously well-behaved parts of the planet. Other forecasts are for perceived growling/snarling emanating from within the earth. as well as very odd atmospheric occurrences that may include hard clouds. So basically, they're saying this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of these things to come. So remember what some of the other reports in the Webbot had said. There's going to be coastal regions that water rises and doesn't recede. It stays. So you think, oh, we're having a super massive high tide today. Well, that's kind of scary. And then it doesn't go away. It wasn't a high tide. It's the new water level, basically. Places are going to be roped off, forbidden access, that kind of thing, that once used to be beachfront or whatever. That was in the other reports I'm talking about, which were several months ago this year, and even back a little before that. So this thing today is showing we have activity underwater, volcanic activity coming out and moving landmass up, or new landmass into the water or oceans, which is, of course, simple logic is going to tell you it moves the water. So all this nonsense about global warming and melting ice causing the water levels to rise has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's the underwater volcanic activity that is going to be, and already is, displacing the water. As they just said, before this incident, hours or minutes, whatever, it didn't say, they experienced some unusual high tide, and then this event started happening. So if you have all these little things going off on the planet that we don't even know about, because the ocean is, 75% or so of the Earth, then you have statistics are going to tell you out of 75% of the Earth, what you see happening on land with all these volcanoes recently, which I know you've all seen, the last several weeks, some major volcanic activity happening. May not be reported in the news, but it's there, it's happening. If that's happening on land, what about the 75% of the oceans? Whatever happened on land, you could expect 3 times more to happen under the water, just by simple statistics. So I think we are going to be seeing water level rising globally, etc. And the rest of the Webbot report, of course, will more than likely come into play and be correct. We're at the end of 2010. By reading that, you may think, well, 2010's passed, it's a failed prediction. The big bulk of it should have already been here by now. No. It said that you would start to see that, and it even said more or less in the background level of visibility. So again, those of us paying attention are the ones basically in the background looking at, oh, hey, check that out. The news isn't reporting it. Governments aren't reporting it. Mainstream's not reporting it. Mainstream media. But we paying attention can clearly see it. Little tiny media outlets, local media outlets, they're reporting it. But anyways, that's all I want to tell you for now. So I got to do another video as well. So I will talk to you later.